Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Evolve Outlook. I'm your host, and today's 33. On this show, we're basically going to go over Evolve, like for the future, like stuff that I think should happen, sometimes predictions of upcoming episodes, or just wrestler spotlights. A little bit something different because we normally do our watch along live Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to watch Evolve. But this is going to be more of like where things are going, what's on the horizon, what's the outlook of Evolve. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, we're just off the backs of Succession 3, which I thought was a pretty good showcase. I still think that Evolve should probably have their successions in the NXT arena just to make it feel a little bit more special, like the first one. Um, But anyway, I digress. We have new champions. We have Nikkita Lyons as your new Evolve Women's Champion. And Aaron Rourke has actually retained his championship against Max Abrams. So now we're going to look a little forward. Nikkita Lyons' title reign. I believe it was a long time coming. And she has greatly improved. And now she really is Nikkita Multimedia. Rumors on the interwebs have stated she's is going to be on LFG Season 4. She's currently on NXT, and now she's the Evolve Women's Champion, so she's everywhere. And I believe her fan base can bring in more viewers to Tubi, which is where, as of this recording, Evolve is currently on. So, yeah, I think the sky's the limit for her, and we're going to see what she does holding this title. As for Aaron Rourke, he did a lot. He actually was able to maintain, and I don't know what's next for him because I really don't see him being on Evolve too much longer. He had a nice little match with Tristan Angels on NXT for the championship, which is the second match they had. The first match they had was on Evolve a couple weeks back. And yeah, I think right now he might be playing double duty. He might be on Evolve a little bit. I mean, not Evolve a little bit, NXT a little bit, while he's also the men's Evolve champion. Yeah, but other than that, we have some new prospects on the show too. So we'll talk about that in a moment. All right, there was a couple of debuts on Evolve this past week. We had Cal Dixon, who I was not expecting to be on Evolve, but here he is, and he is supposed to address the Evolve Nation on this coming up Wednesday's episode. So we got to see what he has to say. It looks like he's got a new look, a new character, and we'll see where this goes. We also had a debut of, I believe her name's Megan Merkel. She kind of showed up at the end of his match, and I don't know if she's like his valet, what's going on, because Kai Kavari kind of looked like he knew who she was, maybe, possibly. So hopefully we'll find out a little bit about her a little bit later. But she was not the female debut on the show. The female debut was the Unknown, and it was like the best put video package they've ever done on Evolve. So much so where I think her video package was really an NXT video package, and they decided to just put her on Evolve for right now to test out the waters and get her some get used to the WWE style with the camera work and everything, develop her character a little bit more. I think they're putting a lot behind her, and when I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the vignette, I thought it was Zena Sterling. I really did. But they have a similar look, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe somehow Cena Sterling can get wrapped up with the Evolve somehow, and make, or not the Evolve, the Unknown. Sorry about that, with the Unknown, and maybe get some type of tag team, maybe a faction out of it. But that's just wishful thinking on my part for right now. But storylines of the future. Let's talk about that real quick. All right, my storylines of the future. Right now, we have the Anya Rune and Caprice storyline that's going on, and for Anya Rune, I believe with her not being able to do whatever move she's going to do off the top turnbuckle plays a big part of it. If you're familiar with anime, it's always some type of hero struggle that the hero or heroine has to overcome, and right now it looks like it's going to be that finishing move. And she's got to build up the confidence to get it off and everything. And I think she will actually do it at Capri's expense when they finally have the blow off for their feud, which I think is a good idea. But some feuds that hasn't happened yet that I think could happen. Cappuccino Jones is still part of 1.0, and I do think that Cappuccino Jones, we we've seen him for a long time and everything. He's been close to championship, but's never actually gotten it. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I don't know who Aaron Rourke will actually drop the championship to. I'm still thinking it could possibly be Max Abrams, and in turn, Max will end up feuding with Cappuccino. But I think what's really probably more likely going to happen, Harlem Lewis is going to be the next contender for Aaron Rourke's championship after he has his blow-off match with Braxton Cole. And Harlem Lewis might actually get the belt. Aaron Rourke gets moves up to NXT. And from there, we'll see what they're going to do with Harlem Lewis. Is he going to be a face, a heel? Right now, he's almost kind of a tweener. And Harlem Lewis is another interesting one, too, because he's been featured on Main Event a lot lately. And on Main Event, they say he is an NXT star. So it looks like Harlem Lewis might be playing double duty also himself. And since he's kind of a heel on Main Event, so maybe we can have Cappuccino go get him, because Cappuccino is an OG just like Harlem. Even though Cap is more of an ID guy, and Harlem is more of a PC guy, because there is a difference. You got people that's been signed by WWE, and then people that got bought off the independent scene. So there's that. And I guess time to give my final thoughts on the prediction of this upcoming episode. All right, what's been announced for this week's coming up episode is going to be a 6-man elimination tag match between ID 1.0 versus the Mog Squad. We also going to have Harlem Lewis and Braxton Cole in a no disqualification match. And I think I said it earlier, Cal Dixon will be addressing the NXT crowd. Usually we end up with 3 matches, so I'm not sure what the third match is going to be. But usually it's we always usually get at least one female match. So I'm guessing we'll get that. That hasn't been announced yet. For the 1.0 versus the Mod Squad, I think the Mod Squad's going to end up winning that match. I'm not sure exactly how, but to me, it does more for them winning the match than it would be for PC 1.0. In fact, in the little implosion of ID 1.0 would actually be pretty good. That we can have a little bit of friction amongst them. But the Mod Squad, I think they need to win more because they are the faction. Braxton Cole and Harlem Lewis, I don't think it's a no-brainer. I believe Harlem Lewis not only needs to win this feud, he also has to win this feud to continue his trajectory to the Evolve Championship. Braxton Cole, he's been doing some okay character work lately, and I think that's all this is. And then we can splinter him off into a new feud with someone. Kel Dixon, I have no idea what he's going to talk about. Based on his attire, even though he fought Kyle Kavari, shout out to him because he was getting a lot of chants in the crowd for him, and he's on a losing streak right now. He hasn't won a match yet, but I think it's close. But I think Kel Dixon might actually be a heel in Evolve, and I am interested to see what he's going to say, but I have no idea what he's going to say. They did talk about a little bit of his background. I did learn more about Kel Dixon on this past episode of Evolve than I ever did on NXT, so I think that's a good thing. But yeah, that's it for the predictions for this week. What I think what's going on with Evolve. Make sure you tune in live Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on EOD33 Wrestling Hub, the YouTube channel. That way we could all watch it together live when it's happening. These are just my predictions, and I could be right. I could be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong. So, yeah, just let me know in the comments. Did you agree with anything I said on this episode or after Evolve comes out? Did I get anything right? Did I get anything wrong? Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed this very first episode of Evolve Outlook. Hopefully you enjoyed the background. I'm trying to do more things because I know the live streams can get boring, looking at the same background all the time for my room, but I need the laptop, I need the OBS, the StreamYards for all that. But for this, we're trying to be more like Nikkita Lyons. We're trying to be outdoors and touch grass. So next week we'll be in a different location. Every episode we're going to be in a new location with new background, outdoors, enjoying nature. Right now we're at a basketball court. Who knows where we'll be next week. But yeah, I'll also make sure I try to get a better mic to reduce some of the wind in case that's a big issue. But this is the first episode. Want to just test some stuff out, see how we do. But as always, I hope we all have a good day, good night, and a pleasant tomorrow. Make sure you stay kind to one another. Make sure you wash your hands. But like I always say, you should be doing all those things anyway. Make sure you tune into us live, the live streams of Evolve every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on EOD33 Wrestling Hub. And be back here next week to see another episode of Evolve Outlook. See you next time, everyone.